What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to our channel and to another episode of Apparel Academy. If you clicked on this video, chances are you are thinking about diving into the exciting world of apparel decoration. But if you're a complete newbie to the industry, you might feel a little bit overwhelmed in all of your research and unsure of how to get started. Luckily for you, you've come to the right place because in today's episode, I'm going to give you 3 actionable and proven tips that will help lead you along your way to finding success in the custom apparel industry. These steps will act as a blueprint to help you start in your apparel decoration journey, especially if you're a beginner. So with all that being said, let's jump right in. Now, before we get into today's topic, if you're new to this channel, my name is Henry Ma. I'm the CEO of Ricoma, and I've helped thousands of apparel decorators start and expand their businesses in this industry. So if you're new to this channel, consider hitting that subscribe button so you keep up to date with new videos as soon as they're released. And if you enjoy content just like this and find this information helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you smash that like button so that this video can be pushed out to more people who might find this useful. All right, the first piece of advice that I will give to beginners starting in the apparel decoration industry is to find out and determine which apparel decoration method you want to get into. In the custom apparel industry, there's a variety of apparel decoration methods for you to choose from, including embroidery, screen printing, sublimation, heat transfer, and much, much more. Because there are so many methods to choose from, you first need to narrow down what is the right apparel decoration method for you, so you start with one and focus on that in the beginning. To help you decide which method is right for you, there are a couple of questions that I would recommend that you think about so that you can determine which path to head in. First and foremost, you want to think about what kind of designs you're looking to decorate. For example, are they big or small designs, or are they simple versus intricate designs? As a very simple example, heat transfer vinyl on the one hand is very good for simple, small designs, but it might be a lot more cumbersome to use heat transfer vinyl for complex, full color and intricate designs. On the other hand, something like embroidery or direct-to-garment printing is very conducive for full-scale, large, and full-color designs. So right off the bat, it's super important for you to determine which apparel decoration method is best suited for the type of design you're looking to do. Now, with that out of the way, the second question that you want to ask yourself is how hands-on or hands-off you want your projects to be. Other apparel decoration methods, on the other hand, might require less involvement on the actual manufacturing process and therefore be more automated, and might require less maintenance on a day-to-day basis. And last but certainly not least, and perhaps the most important question that you should ask yourself, is what kind of budget you have set aside so that you can purchase the right equipment for you to get started in this business. Some methods are going to have lower cost of entry and therefore the equipment up front is going to be less, versus others that might take a lot more startup capital to get started. I've actually done several other videos on this channel comparing different apparel decoration methods and their pros and cons, where we do a deeper dive into each of these methods so that you can make the right decision. If you're interested to check out any of those videos, I've put them in the cards above and down in the links below. All right, now that you found the right decorating method to start with, the next step in your journey should be to choose your market and finding your niche. Naturally, if you're going to start in this business, it's important for you to get sales and therefore find customers when you're starting out. A majority of custom apparel orders actually come from local businesses and organizations, so this is the natural place to start for a lot of decorators when they're starting out in this industry. Now, because there's so many different types of local businesses and organizations to sell your services to, it is important for you to first niche down and find the right vertical to start in. Now, I'll give you 2 general ways for you to niche down into a particular market, one being by product type and the second being by customer type. So if you're looking to niche down by product type, this is where you focus on a particular line of products or several lines of products and cater this line of products to a variety of businesses. For example, there are a lot of people that focus just on polo shirts or just on caps, and this can be applicable to a lot of different industries. Polo shirts can be sold to local restaurants and businesses, and caps, for example, can be sold to sports teams and other organizations. Focusing on a particular product type allows you to niche down on that particular product line and cater that product to a variety of different businesses or industries. This allows you the chance to not get spread too thin, and you can perfect your craft on a particular type of product. When people niche down in a particular product, they become experts in that product line. For example, people that niche down in caps can do 3D puff on caps, can do side designs on caps, and a variety of other intricate designs on different types of hat. The second way that you can niche down is by customer type. This is a little bit different than niching down by product type in that you are choosing a particular industry or customer to go after. For example, some people specialize in the wedding industry, some people specialize in the restaurant industry and might have connections there, or some people might cater to schools and daycares. By niching down in terms of customer type, you are focusing on a specific vertical of customers to target and doing a variety of items for that particular vertical. This is an equally as effective way to niche down in that you're focusing on one particular vertical of customers and therefore getting to know the intricate needs of that group of customers very, very thoroughly. Once you've chosen your ideal market and have found your specific niche, you can then leverage different platforms to sell your product. Leveraging different websites and platforms like Etsy, Garmio, and Artfire can help you find your initial group of customers and get you started. This way, you don't need to build your own website or spend a lot on marketing expense before getting your first customer. Oh, and before I forget, one last pro tip that I will give you in finding your first customer is to make sure you ask around in your network and leverage your connections for some low-hanging fruits and early wins. What I mean by this is make sure you ask around your friends and family. I'm sure they know someone who might know some other people that has a business that might need some custom apparel. This is absolutely free and simply takes some effort and time from your end, but it is an easy way to pick some of that low-hanging fruit and get your foot in the door so that you can leverage that relationship for future customers if you do a great job. If you're interested to check out some tips and tricks on how to sell on platforms like Etsy, make sure to check out this video I put in the card above and down in the links below where I give you some tips and tricks on how to sell on Etsy. So now that you've determined your apparel decoration method and know where to find clients, the next step is to make sure you price your services effectively for maximum profitability. Pricing is one of the major areas a lot of apparel decorators, especially new ones, stumble on and therefore cause their businesses to fail. By not pricing effectively, you might either price yourself out of the market by not being competitive enough, or worse, on the flip side, lose money on every single order because you are underpricing your services. Because apparel decoration varies greatly based on the type of design you're looking to do, as well as the apparel decoration method, it is important to price effectively based on the time that it takes for you to do that item. It is important that you don't go with a base flat fee for any type of custom apparel because different items take different amount of time to do, as well as the intricacy of the designs definitely play a factor in how long it takes. What I generally recommend people to do is to make sure they have a target profit per hour in mind before determining their pricing structure. This is critical because by having a target profit per hour in mind, you are being compensated for the time that you're spending. Then after you've determined your ideal target profit per hour, you then need to find out how many items you can decorate in that one given hour. This can vary based on the type of item you're looking to decorate and based on the design that your client wants. You can then divide your ideal target profit per hour by the number of items that you can do in that one given hour to determine the minimum profit per item that you'll need to make so that you can hit your target. If that sounded confusing, let me give you a simple example where it shows you two ends of the extreme in a spectrum so you can see how this process works. For example, if you determine that your target profit per hour is $100 per hour, and your client gave you a super complex design that'll take you a full hour to finish, and therefore your output per hour is only that one item, you better make sure that your item is priced accordingly so that you make $100 of profit on that item so that you can meet your target per hour of $100 in profit. Now, obviously that's on one end of the spectrum, which is very extreme in that the design takes you super long to do. And if we move to the other side of the spectrum where you have the same target profit per hour of $100, but because the design is so easy to do and you can finish one item every minute, giving you a total output of 60 items in 1 hour. Therefore, in that example, to meet your target profit per hour of $100, you simply need to only make $16.66 on every item in order to meet that goal. Comparing that profit per item versus $100 of profit per item, you can see how drastically your pricing structure can change depending on how much output you can have in one given hour. Now, I've obviously given two extreme ends of the spectrum in terms of your pricing structure, but you need to determine realistically how long it will take you to do a particular item depending on the design and the intricacies. After you've done this effectively, you can then add on the cost of materials to your total price for that item, or even add a little bit of padding in that cost of materials so that you make a little bit of profit on the materials as well. If you've done this correctly, you'll probably end up in a profit margin somewhere between 50 to 65%, which is an ideal profit range in my opinion. I don't even get out of bed for less than 50% margin, so it's definitely important that you value your services accordingly and therefore price accordingly so you don't lose money on every single order. If you're interested to take a deeper dive in how I break this pricing formula down, in particular within the embroidery and direct-to-garment printing process, make sure to check out those videos that I put in the card above and down in the links below. Even though these videos pertain to embroidery and direct-to-garment in particular, the concept that I've just described in pricing based on time applies to all decoration methods. All right, so to recap everything that we covered today for beginners starting out in the decoration industry, make sure that first and foremost, you determine the right apparel decoration method to start with. After you figure that out, then you need to determine your ideal market and niche down so that you focus on a particular vertical. I've given you 2 ways to do exactly that in niching down based on product type or niching down based on customer type. Finally, make sure you have your pricing structure in place so that you don't lose money on every order you take on, and you have your profit margin set for an ideal 50 to 65% or higher so that it's worth your time. By simply following these 3 steps, you'll be well on your way to finding success in the decoration industry and be ahead of a lot of other people who wish they could have found this type of resource and guidance when they were just starting out. All right, that's it for us for today, guys. I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel so you keep up to date as soon as new videos are released. For more trends and tips in the world of decorated apparel, make sure to follow us on all of our social channels down below. We're active on Instagram and on TikTok for some entertaining content. Last but not least, make sure to join our free Facebook group, Embroidery and Custom Apparel Mastery, where there's now over 30,000 apparel decorators in there sharing their tips and tricks of the industry, and you can join and be a part of the conversation. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found this helpful. See you on the next video.